ललितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। गुरवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकाय सदादये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय गौरप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमद्भक्तिप्रमोदाय पुरिगोस्वामी नामने। नमो विष्णुपादाय राधिकायै प्रियात्मने श्रीमद्भक्तिवेदान्त नारायणीति नामने। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अजानुलम्बितो भुजो कनकवदातो संकीर्तने कपितरो कमलायताक्षो विशम्भरो द्विजवरो युगधर्मपालो वन्दे जगद्प्रियकरो करुणावतारो। राधाचिन्तानिवेशिनं यस्य कान्तिविलोकिता श्रीकृष्णचरणं वन्दे राधालिङ्गितं विग्रहम्। भक्त्या विहीनयपराधलक्ष्यै क्षिप्तश्च कामादितरङ्गमध्ये कृपामयि तं शरणं प्रपन्न वृन्दे नमस्ते चरणारविन्दम्। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। My humble obeisances to my lotus feet of my spiritual master, my Gurudev, Nitya Leela Pravish Om Vishnu Par Stotrashad Shri Srimad Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj, and my obeisance to his appearance day, which is very auspicious for entire world and especially for a fallen person like me. My obeisances to my Shiksha Gurudev, Shri Srimad Bhakti Vedant Narayan Goswami Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Vedant Vaman Gosai Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Vigyan Srila Bharati Gosai Maharaj. My humble obeisance to Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada and all his associates, and to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and to all his associates, to Shri Radha Vinod Bihari and all their associates. My pranams to all of you who are hearing the glories of my Guru Maharaj on this auspicious day, his appearance day, which is 121st appearance day. My Guru Maharaj took birth in 1898. So it's 121st appearance day of Guru Maharaj. Scripture says, Yasya deve parabhakti yatha deve tatha guru tasyete kathitam artham prakashante mahatmana. The meaning is, as much as one perform bhakti to Radha and Krishna, as much as one have bhakti for one's Gurudev, proportionately transferred to Radha Krishna. If that means Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakati Sadma, the lotus feet of Shri Gurudev, Guru Pad Padma, Guru Maharaj, okay? That's the origin of bhakti. Attachment to the lotus feet of Gurudev is the goal of life. We are trying to get attached to Mahaprabhu, to divine couple Radha Krishna, but it's so difficult. If someone says, "Oh, I'm attached," maybe any person can say this, but practically it's very difficult. But we can see our Gurudev, we can serve our Gurudev, and the same proportion of attachment being developed for one's Gurudev, it transferred to Radha Krishna. Yasya Deva Parabhakti. Srimad Bhagavatam says, uh, Krishna says this, Acharya Mam Vijanyam. Try to understand. Krishna is saying, I come in the form of Acharya to help, to facilitate people to get along with Krishna and Krishna Bhakti. Gurudev is a middleman, a middle person who takes our hands and gives in the hands of Krishna. Yeah. And in return, he don't ask anything. He is more tolerant than a tree. The nature of tree is to always give. Hmm? Tree never asks anything from anyone. Always standing to give. Giving nature uh, is tree nature is giving nature. So Gurudev, all our respected Gurudevs, Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj, whose appearance day, divine appearance day, most auspicious appearance day, falling today here, the location where I am in America. In India and other parts of the world, it is tomorrow. But wherever you all are situated, try to observe this appearance day of Guru Maharaj. Because just by hearing the glories of Guru Maharaj, of such a pure devotee, who was, who is more humble than a blade of grass. Guru Maharaj's nature was very introvert and very hidden. He never used to pose himself for any credits. Today I'm going to highlight some of the glories of Guru Maharaj. I was just saying some introductory part. But if you scrutinize, I mean, we are no one to scrutinize that. Please pardon my language. I'm not very fluent. But if we just go deep into the glories of Guru Maharaj and his activities, one thing common we find is he's always very, introvert inside. He's never posing himself. I've done this. I accomplished this. And he always gave credit to his Guru Maharaj and to his godmothers. So I'm little nervous to say because I don't know from where to start with. But whatever comes in my memory, in my meditation, I will just try to say a few words. My Guru Maharaj, he took birth in 1898 in a very high-class Brahmin family. And following all this strict rules and regulations of being a very high-class Brahmin family, Guru Maharaj was very much into uh, deity worship. Even when he was small child, he used to he used to worship Radha Krishna deities at home. He was very grave. Like other children, he never interested in playing with toys, but he was all the time interested in serving the deities, Radha Krishna. So it's not that someone is told him to do this or imposed on him, but there was a natural inclination. Naturally, he was attracted to serve Radha Krishna deities. Now,
Ahora,
there are few pastimes which I'm going to mention. Once upon a time, in a very severe cold, Guru Maharaj, he served Radha Krishna, he offered bhoga, but he, in his loving meditation of how even the deities look so beautiful, he, by chance, just accidentally by chance, he forgot to give blanket on the deities. So putting deities to rest is not that, just we say, okay, now you take a rest. But if there is so much love and affection, I saw many devotees around the world. I saw in Holland and even in Houston and other countries as well, how they are putting Radha Krishna deities on the bed and then massage the feet of Radha Krishna. Guru Maharaj was doing this every day, but just by chance he forgot to give blanket and he closed the door. He came in his room and just about to take rest to sleep, he found his body, he found he got fever, so much temperature. And now he's reluctant to say to his parents because if he says this to his parents next day, they will not allow him to serve the deities because he cannot take shower if he has fever. Guru Maharaj kept this hidden in him and he didn't tell anyone. He thought I will just take blanket and I will sleep and let's see what will happen in the morning. So he put his blanket on and he slept. You see, young boy, not adult. So when he slept, the deities Radha Krishna came in his dream uh, and told, "Oh Pramod, because my Guru Maharaj's name was Pramod Bhushan Chakravarti. Oh Pramod, you're sleeping so good with your blanket on, and today you forget to give blanket to us, and we are so much suffering here. We are so much suffering here." Yeah. When Guru Maharaj saw this, Radha Krishna speaking in dream, immediately he woke up. He threw his blanket and he ran. Immediately he ran to the deity room, opened the door, and saw, oh, what I did today. I didn't give blankets to deities. Such a severe offense. How can I do such mistake? So tears of love start flowing from his eyes, and he start massaging the feet of Radha Krishna. Please forgive me, my Prabhu. Oh Radha Gopinath. His favorite deities was Radha Gopinath since beginning. Uh, so, oh Gopinath, please forgive my offense. I don't know why I did this. Please forgive my offense. Young boy, crying so much deep into his heart, he took this very seriously and then put a blanket on the deities and came back in his room. When he came back in his room, he observed he don't have fever anymore. Uh, Before he was having fever, high temperature, but now no fever. So what does this mean? The meaning is there is a world called Tadatme. Tadatme means oneness. He was so much oneness with the Radha Krishna deities. Whatever is Radha Krishna as deities feeling is getting reflected on Guru Maharaj. This is what happening in childhood. Just reflecting on him. In the deity room, Radha Krishna is suffering from cold, and same thing reflected on him. And now, after putting blanket, after asking forgiveness, prayers, yeah. Now, deities, Radha Krishna is satisfied, and he also became very healthy again. So, if I want to summarize the life history of Guru Maharaj, I would say in every areas, in every field of services to the divine couple, Radha Krishna, and to Mahaprabhu, and to the combined couple, that is Mahaprabhu, Guru Maharaj was expert in all the areas. Right away from starting, serving the deities. You see, this is the example. There are many other examples I will tell you later. Guru Maharaj was very intellect. Whatever he reads, he used to learn by heart. And because he was not wasting any time in just playing and things like that, he was very keen to hear some histories, some philosophies. When he grew up, he found there is one very high class devotee in his village. Yeah. His name was Bhakti Ratnakar Thakur. Now Bhakti Ratnakar Thakur was godbrother of Bhakti Vinod Thakur. Imagine, godbrother of Bhakti Vinod Thakur. Guru Maharaj was used to come to him and hearing Hari Katha from him, especially learning Chaitanya Charitamrita from him, and also learning the books of Bhaktivinoda Thakur from his own godbrother Bhakti Ratnakar Thakur. And by associating with such high-class devotee, imagine godbrother of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Yeah, Guru Maharaj was also associating with him. Yeah. Can you imagine how high and powerful association, especially in those days? So by associating with Bhakti Ratnakar Thakur, Guru Maharaj came to know about the son of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And the son of Bhaktivinoda Thakur is Bimla Prasad, the founder of Gaudiya Math, Srila Bhakti Siddhant Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur had 11 sons, 11 children, but all of them are not same, even though their father is Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Yeah. So amongst all the children, Srila Bhakti Siddhant Saraswati Thakur was most prominent one. He is the founder of Gaudiya Math, established earlier in 1918. He is the one who followed Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, his father, strictly, according to his idols. And he is the one who propagated and preached the mission of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, which was not different from the mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, while associating with Bhakti Ratnakar Thakur, Guru Maharaj came to know about Bimla Prasad, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. And hearing his glories, just imagine. Many of you are very new, not familiar with the names. That's why I'm speaking very simple language and very simple words and very simple Harikatha, so that many devotees here in other countries not familiar with the names, they can understand. But those who are familiar, they can understand better. Imagine the glories of Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada, that even the godbrothers of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, is appreciating and glorifying him. See his identity and his figure and his gravity. Guru Maharaj, he came to know about Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada by associating with Bhakti Ratnakar Thakur. And there was a very keen desire to see Srila Prabhupada. He found out Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada, he, he reside in Sridham Mayapur, the birthplace of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He came to know this. And there was so much longing in his heart, so much deep desire. I must run and go and see who is this personality. This is called restlessness. This is called, yeah, keen desire. And this shows love. This shows our love and our attachment. Yeah. Sometimes, if Gurudev is one city, many people think, oh, no problem, I will see him on Sunday. No problem. But there is a problem. The problem is we are not attached to our Gurudev. If we are attached, we cannot stay peacefully. Attachment always create restlessness. Love and attachment is something which always create restlessness. So how many times we remember our Gurudev? We don't have to test. We don't have to judge anyone. It is just our personal matter. We should think every morning, am I remembering my Guru Maharaj? Am I remembering my Gurudev every morning? And I'm remembering him every evening. Yeah, many of us, when we are even chanting mantras, Guru mantra, we don't even remember our Gurudev. We are in a mode of, okay, he has given us mantra, finish quickly and just back to work. Yeah. So, very sorry, but this is not called attachment. Shri Guru Charane Rati Aise Uttama Bhag. The attachment of Shri Gurudev is the everything. Yeah. So why I'm saying this? I'm just focusing and highlight the glories of Guru Maharaj. Just by hearing about Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada, Guru Maharaj just became so restless and he ran to see him. He came to Sridham Mayapur, asking the location, where is Bimla Prasad, where is Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada? And when he arrived to his Guru Maharaj, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, that was his first vision. That was his first darshan of his Guru Maharaj. And which day was that? In the month of Kartik. Yeah. In the month of Kartik, when Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada just finished the samadhi of his Guru Maharaj, Shri Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj. He just put him on his transcendental body in samadhi and covered the ground with the sand. That moment, Guru Maharaj came and he saw a tall figure, very effulgent, tall figure, and all the symptoms of Mahabhagavat, broad forehead, broad chest, long arms, and his eyes so beautiful because Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada was very, very beautiful and very effulgent personality. Who explains his beauty? There was one disciple of Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada. His name was, many of you don't know him, his name was Bhakti Kumud Sant Goswami Maharaj. Yeah. So once upon a time, one of his disciples asked him in the Hari Katha that, can you describe the beauty of your Guru Maharaj? Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. So it was a general assembly, and you know what he replied? He said, if you put 1,000 very beautiful women, very, very beautiful 1,000 women, and if you put Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada, my Guru Maharaj, hiding in between one of them, just example, your eyes will just go to him. You know, that was his beauty. Why he said like this? Because this was a general people there. This is how he want to focus and highlight, explaining the beauty of his Guru Maharaj. So when my Guru Maharaj, when he saw Srila Prabhupada darshan, he was totally fascinated. He accepted his Guru Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada, his Guru Maharaj, in his heart. Already he accepted this. And this acceptance is called already connection. This acceptance is called actually Diksha. When you accept someone in your heart, yeah, and no one can check your heart. No one can stop your heart going to anyone. Yeah. So Guru Maharaj already accepted him as his Guru Maharaj in his heart. Now this acceptance was already there, but again we have this procedure of actually accepting mantras from our respected Gurudevs. So that part was not yet. So I'm speaking about 1915, when Gaurkishore Babaji Maharaj entered Samadhi. My Guru Maharaj saw Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada. Because he was the only earning member in the family, and the whole family was dependent on him. With very heavy heart, he came back to his house. Yeah. Why heavy heart? He has already offered his heart to his Guru Maharaj. Already offered there. Yeah. And now he's back in his schedule, in his work. So he was very heavy heart and waiting for the opportunity and time when I will come across again in the association of my Guru Maharaj, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. Day and night he was thinking of this, crying for this, weeping for this, and wanted to be with him, to associate him and to serve him. Yeah, in this way. Many days passed like this. Now, a good opportunity, a moment came in his life, and that is he got a appointment in his job uh, in Calcutta, in Port Commission. Guru Maharaj was very learned, and it was British rule in India at that moment. Yeah, Guru Maharaj English was very fluent. Yeah, and when he was working there, again he was feeling pain in his heart. When I can see my Guru Maharaj again, that personality to whom I saw, when it will come to my vision again. Yeah, he was thinking, and he heard the good news. And the good news was that Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, he established his first center in Calcutta. And it was 1 number Ulta Danga Road, Calcutta. This was the location. Was a small, simple house, very humble, simple house. The mission, the preaching started from that rented house. There was no temple, no Gaudiya Math before. Rented house. When Guru Maharaj heard this, he was overjoyed. Oh, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada in Calcutta. He established a center here. Great fortune. my great fortune. Now I can go and see him and hear his Hari Katha every day, every evening. Because of work conditions, Guru Maharaj used to work whole day, but every evening he used to come and visit Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada and hear his Hari Katha or just his darshan. So it was his nature or principle that whenever he's coming back from his work, he used to change his clothes and change his shoes and walking like 4 kilometers or 3 kilometers, walking to associate with his Guru Maharaj. Why he's not riding on any bus or any other vehicle? No, because first of all, he was saving money. And secondly, whenever he is walking, he's always remembering what Guru Maharaj spoke yesterday, which shloka he uttered yesterday. Uh, and he gets so much absorbed in that Hari Katha and shloka that he don't even sometimes aware which direction he's moving. So once upon a time it happened that he came back and he changed his shoes and there was a scorpio in the shoe. Guru Maharaj didn't knew this. There is a scorpio in the shoe. So what he did, he wear those shoes and he started walking. But he was so much absorbed in Hari Katha that even the scorpio was biting on his foot and was sucking the blood. He was not even aware of this. He was not even aware. Can you imagine how it's possible? Because it says if a scorpio bites you, a person starts dancing in pain, such severe pain. How come Guru Maharaj got bitten by a scorpio and he's sucking the blood, but he's not even uh, affected? And he's just walking, and only remembering Prabhupada's Hari Katha, yesterday Hari Katha, that shloka. He's remembering that again and again in his mind. So after walking for few minutes, almost 3-4 kilometers, when he arrived to the mud, he opened his shoes, which was full of blood. Then devotees saw this and they say, "Hey, what is this? What is this? Your shoe is full of blood." Guru Maharaj immediately acknowledged this and then he felt pain. Oh, yes, I'm feeling so much pain. Why he was not feeling pain before and now he acknowledged that feeling? Because now his absorption broke. His meditation broke. Before there was very intense absorption and very great meditation in Srila Prabhupada's words. But now devotees uh, uh, told, "This is blood from your shoes." The absorption broke there. And then he felt pain. And they all saw and they said, "Oh, you're getting so much blood and pain. You're not feeling any pain." Guru Maharaj again, he concealed his bhav, his moods. He didn't express. He didn't say, "Oh, I was absorbed in Prabhupada's Hari Katha." No, no. We would have said like this. And that's the difference between a conditioned soul like us and a pure Mahabhagavat, pure devotee like Guru Maharaj. Yeah. He hid his mood. He said, "No, I was feeling some pain." And you know what the devotees commented? They said, "This is not the blood. This is the color of Anurag. Anurag means the color affection. Anurag means affection. Anurag means attachment. The color of Anurag is red. The color of Anurag attachment is red. That's why brahmachari sannyasis, they are wearing red cloths, saffron cloths. This is the color of Anurag, affection and attachment. So Guru Maharaj was, this shows his meditation and absorption in his Guru Maharaj words. Imagine how powerful were the words and how powerful was the attachment between the associates of Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada and Prabhupada. And not only about my Guru Maharaj, but if we read the biographies of all the acharyas, all the disciples of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, everyone was very deeply attached to Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada's lotus feet. And by reading them, by hearing about them, it gives so much inspiration to heart. And then we understand, oh, our life is useless. Then we come to this point. This body is waste because I've not developed in this lifetime. I've not developed any attachment to my Guru Maharaj. Otherwise, we were not simply happily enjoying our life. There would have been some pain that I'm so far from my Guru Maharaj. I'm hardly remembering him. I'm hardly following him. What is the use of my life? My life is waste. My life is garbage. You see? This is what I feel. But Guru Maharaj, his attachment was so deep. And in this way, every morning he's going to work, every evening he's coming to center. And in this way, he got more deepened attachment to Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada. So and so that he became so restless, now he don't want to stay in his house anymore and to work for his family. No, because now he's very, very deeply attached. Very deeply attached. What happened? In 1923, Guru Maharaj, he renounced everything and he joined the mutt as brahmachari to Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. He got initiated by Srila Prabhupada on his request, and the auspicious day was the day of Krishna's birth, Krishna Janmashtami. So those who want to know this, those who want to know this, when Guru Maharaj got initiation, it was year 1923 on the day of Krishna Janmashtami. Guru Maharaj took initiation from his Guru Maharaj, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. And now he don't want to go back. He want to stay in the mutt as brahmachari. Srila Prabhupada accepted him, and Guru Maharaj every day, he following all rules and regulations, his principles, and especially chanting of his mantras so sincerely and seriously. Once upon a time, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada saw that Guru Maharaj was reading something and was speaking Hari Katha to some couple of devotees who were sitting there. Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada, he saw this and he said, "Oh, Pranavanand, what are you doing?" Because Guru Maharaj's name was Shri Pravananand Brahmachari. Prabhupada said, "I really like this idea that you're speaking some Hari Katha and all these devotees are sitting and hearing you." He said, "This is the purpose of establishing center. There is no other purpose. There is no other purpose. Establishments Centers means only for Hari Katha. So Pranavanand, I'm so happy and impressed that you're speaking Hari Katha. And I want you should speak Hari Katha every morning and every evening. Prabhupada instructed him. And Guru Maharaj start speaking Hari Katha every morning and every evening. And from Guru Maharaj, please note this point, underline this point. The system of Hari Katha in all the Gaudiya Maths around the world and in all the centers in ISKCON also, which is also part of Gaudiya Math. Yeah. We see every morning there is Hari Katha and every evening Hari Katha. Who originated this? The system of this morning and evening Hari Katha in the center is started from Guru Maharaj, Shri Srimad Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj. From here it started. See? But why then so many people don't know this? Because in this mission of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, there were some acharyas who kept themselves hidden. They don't want to focus. They don't want to highlight themselves. Yeah. So there are some acharyas who are behind the scene, behind the curtain. And there were some acharyas who are in front of the curtain. Guru Maharaj was always behind the scene, never highlighting himself. But the system of this Hari Katha in all the centers around the world, even now at present day, started from Guru Maharaj, year 1923. So Guru Maharaj started speaking Chaitanya Charitamrita and other books of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, the commentaries of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and there was amongst all the devotees one gentleman, very tall figure, golden complexion, beautiful, smart, handsome, and nicely dressed. He used to come and sit very quietly in the back and hear Guru Maharaj lecture. And all the devotees looking, who is he? Who is he? But he never used to tell his name or, you know. And after Hari Katha, he goes back. Again, every evening, next day he's coming, every evening he's coming to hear Hari Katha. So devotees start speaking, gossiping. I think he is a spy who came to check what Gaudiya Math is doing. Because India was under British rule. Yeah, India was under British rule. So all this British police, spies, they were always alert of what people are doing in their crowd, in their assemblies. So everyone gossiping, this gentleman who comes every evening, he looks like a spy. And they all came to Guru Maharaj and they say, Prabhu, I think one spy is coming to see what we are doing here. Guru Maharaj said, nothing to worry, because we are not doing anything wrong here. We are not doing any sin here. We are only speaking Hari Katha and the worship of Radha Krishna. Then, if we are not wrong, why we have to worry about? And if he's coming for Hari Katha, even as a spy, let him come, he will get blessed with Hari Katha. Yeah. So everyone was quiet, but once upon a time, this gentleman came to give a compliment to Guru Maharaj. Say, your Hari Katha really impressed me so much. Your simplicity, your gravity, the way of your presentation, and how humble you are, and how intellect you are. I'm deeply impressed by hearing your classes every evening. Who is your Guru Maharaj? I want to see your Guru Maharaj. Then Guru Maharaj took this boy, this young boy, this gentleman, to Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. And by seeing Srila Prabhupada's appearance, he got so much impressed. And he asked for initiation. Please give me initiation. And Srila Prabhupada gave him initiation, and later he became a very, very prominent sannyasi of Srila Prabhupada. And his name is Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj. Yes, Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj. Very handsome, tall figure, and so scholarly. Yeah, sometime I will read his books in our this weekly lectures, and then you will understand. Then we will all understand how glorious he is, and his intellect, his high, you know, even his vocabulary, the language he's using in his books or in his lectures, you will see so poetic, not simple language. So, Sri Bhakti Raksha Sridhar Gosai Maharaj, who was Sannyas Gurudev of our Param Gurudev, Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Gosai Maharaj. He joined Gaudiya Math by hearing the lectures of my Guru Maharaj, Shri Srimad Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj. Yeah, you all must read. When I'm saying something, try to note down this. Why I'm saying this? Because many of you are new. So I just want to give exposure to all of you, access to all of you, to our acharyas. They are our gurudevs. They are our authorities. Yeah. And I'm just like a friend to all of you. I'm just trying to connect all of you with our acharyas. That's all. Yeah. So read books of Srila Guru Govind Goswami Maharaj. You'll find so much there. Read books of, even if you Google, it will come. Yeah. Srila Bhakti Raksha Sridhar Gosai Maharaj. Yeah. And one of his very attractive and prominent book is Shri Guru and His Grace. Very important book. Once upon a time, like a year back, I used to record this book in audio. And our Braj Kishore Prabhu from Brazil, I think he has all these recordings. Maybe he can share with all of you. You can hear what he commented, what he said about the glories of Guru Tattva. Very deep. So in this way, read the books of all these acharyas, and you are associating with them and associating with their concepts. So anyhow, Guru Maharaj, one day he was reading, and Srila Prabhupada told Guru Maharaj, you must work on publication, in publication department. I want you to translate or to form or make a book. Guru Maharaj said, Prabhupada, I never ever did this. No experience. I don't know how to do this. What if I do mistake? Srila Prabhupada said, no, you can do this. And Srila Prabhupada gave him a pen. And since from that year, 1924, with so many years, Guru Maharaj Godbrother used to say his pen never stopped. Day and night he's writing. Day and night he's writing articles for the magazines. Day and night he's writing all these books. So what is the glories of my Guru Maharaj? All these books, small or big, from ISKCON or from any establishment, from where these books originated. Yeah, try to go into the originated from Guru Maharaj writing. Yeah, it's a common saying, a lamp burn and give light to the whole room, to the whole house. Similarly, Guru Maharaj, he also burned. Burned means so much energy, so much sacrifice of his eating, of his sleeping, everything for the sake of the mission of his Guru Maharaj. Yeah. The giving a pen to Guru Maharaj means investing all his energies in Guru Maharaj. Like Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of ISKCON. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, just by seeing him, he said, "Oh, you will preach in Western countries. Your English is very good." So the words from Acharyas like Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, the words gives energy, gives invest energy, the potency. So in Guru Maharaj also the potency of writing uh, came from Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. Guru Maharaj used to say this. I'm blessed by my Guru Maharaj that he gave me this opportunity of service, any little contribution in the mission of Mahaprabhu, propagating the mission of Mahaprabhu. So day and night Guru Maharaj was writing. Yeah. What is writing? What are the magazines? Many details are there. So my Shiksha Gurudev, Shri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, he used to say on this day that Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj was acting like Mirdanga. Mirdanga means there are three kinds of Mirdanga. One is Mirdanga, which we play, and without Mirdanga, there is no flavor in Sankirtan, in Kirtan. You know, the moment the Mirdanga starts, one start dancing. And no Sankirtan and no Kirtan is so nice when there is no Mirdanga. Guru Maharaj, he used to play very good Mirdanga and he used to sing very melodiously, very beautifully singing. Yeah. His favorite bhajan was Gopinath Mama Nivedana Suno. Guru Maharaj was too much into Gopinath, and that's why centers he established, the mission he established, he named that mission Shri Gopinath Gaudiya Math. Shri Gopinath Gaudiya Math. The Guru Maharaj used to sing Gopinath Gopinath Mama Nivedana Suno Mama Nivedana Suno Vishai Durjana Sada Kame Rata Kichu Nahi Mora Guna Gopinath. Guru Maharaj used to sing with so much emotions and tears from his eyes, not only meditating on the melody which is coming, but the tears with emotions. Yeah, genuinely praying to Gopinath and putting himself in very humble position, like in a very ordinary position, even though he is such a great personality. And putting himself in that situation with emotions, he used to sing. So when he used to sing like this, the radio department of this city, Calcutta, they invited Guru Maharaj, please come in our radio department and you sing, and then whole city, the whole country will hear, Pura Bharat, whole India will hear your singing. So Guru Maharaj accepted this proposal for the sake of spreading the mission, the words of Mahaprabhu. And he used to sing, in the radio. And brahmacharis, in those days, there was no televisions, very few radios. So brahmachari in the mutt, they used to hear how Guru Maharaj is singing. And sometimes they used to bring this radio to Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada. They say, Srila Prabhupada, see how Pranavananda Brahmachari, how he's singing. And Prabhupada used to hear. And he used to close his eyes and feeling that feels and that emotions, how Guru Maharaj is singing these bhajans. And not only simple bhajans, like this song, if this is written by Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Gopinath Mama Nivedan Suno. Yeah, on this day, you all should try to sing this bhajan for pleasure of Guru Maharaj in his remembrance. Yeah, it's in the song book. So it's not that just he's singing what is written there, but Guru Maharaj used to add some verses, Bengali verses, in addition to these words. He used to add. uh, like there is a line, Amiki doshera doshi, Asura sakala pailo charana, Asura sakala pailo charana, Vinoda thakilo boshi, Vinoda thakilo boshi. This is the last line where Bhaktivinoda Thakur, in so humble mood, he's saying, Hey Gopinath, hey Krishna, even demons killed by you got your association. They attend you. Why this Bhakti Vinod is so fallen, is not getting is not getting any bhakti towards you. Bhakti Thakur is saying this. So Guru Maharaj used to add so much more after these lines, his own feelings, his own emotions. So the one bhajan goes like so long. And this is what Srila Prabhupada and all brahmacharis used to relish. Mm. And even in preaching, Guru Maharaj playing Mirdanga, very nice Mirdanga, all the tacts, all the arts of Mirdanga. And he used to elaborate one bhajan, and all the audience sitting there used to hear, wow, so nice. He's adding on verses from Shastras, from Bhagavatam, from Gita, from Vedas, from Puranas, from Chaitanya Charitamrita. He's adding the verses in singing. Imagine, so much art of singing was there. So, Srila our Gurudev, Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, he used to say that Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj was my Shiksha Guru, and he used to play very good Mirdanga and sing very beautiful. But he also had served as Briyat Mirdanga. Briyat Mirdanga, what is that? We know about Mirdanga, but what is Briyat Mirdanga? All publication services is called Briyat Mridanga. Like in ISKCON, we have BBT, Bhaktivedanta Book Trust. Swami Prabhupada was also so much into books. Our Gurudev also established Gaudiya Vedanta publication, GVP, Hindi publication, English publication. And Gurudev day and night in his books writing. Uh, so Briyat Mirdanga means working on the books, translating books, printing books, helping in translation, helping in printing, financing books. This all services is called Briyat Mirdanga. So Guru Maharaj used to write with his pen given by his Guru Maharaj all the time, from morning till night. Only 3-4 hours sleeping in 24 hours. That's all. Writing, writing, writing. So now all the books in entire world, what we see, small books, ISKCON, small books in Gaudiya Maths, this is all from the origin, the root is what Guru Maharaj used to write. Yeah. Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, he translated all these books into English. Where? In Vrindavan, Radha Damodar temple, in his quarters. Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, whole night, day and night, he's translating books into English language. Srimad Bhagavatam, Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita, yeah, and that was his gift to the entire world. And from there, translated to Spanish, Portuguese, Russian, Dutch, and so many languages. Uh, but my point of adding something here is when Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada was translating the books into English language, he was taking some reference book to translate. You understand? What is that reference book? This reference book means which were in Bengali at those days. But who made those reference book, these books, was my Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj. So even now, so many wonderful devotees, all of you, I know you are helping in Audio Seva team in Srila Gurudev's upcoming centennial 2021, 2021. Many of you working in this centennial and helping Amrish Prabhu, Lavanga Didi, for investing so much energy. And you are also helping and supporting in whatever capacity you can. This is also called Briyat Mirdanga. This also Briyat Mirdanga. You know, Mirdanga, when you play, the sound goes to maybe like 5 houses neighborhood, but cannot go to next street. But all this audio seva services and all these book services, it goes to the length and breadth of the country, of the world, the whole universe. This is how Guru Maharaj was the, the origin of all these services. Starting lecture, starting books. Very interesting. Once upon a time, Guru Maharaj came to his Guru Maharaj and said, he came to Srila Prabhupada and said, Srila Prabhupada, there is so much to do in publication. This is your order, and I'm trying to fulfill your order. But you also have ordered us to chant 64 rounds every day. I'm finding little difficult to chant 64 rounds every day along with publication. Guru Maharaj thought, or maybe Srila Prabhupada will tell him, okay, reduce your chanting. With this idea, Guru Maharaj approached him and said, if you allow me, if you permit me, can I chant little less? Because there is so much services. You know what Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada asked? He asked, so how many hours you resting? You sleeping? My Guru Maharaj said, Prabhupada, sometime 5 hours, sometime 4 hours. Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada said, oh, that's all? He said, yes. And Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada said, okay, from tomorrow you sleep 3 hours. From tomorrow sleep less. But he didn't give any concession in less chanting. Imagine if this order comes to our head, it will be like a thunderbolt on us. What? No, Gurudev, I cannot do this. Many of devotees here in the world, they find difficult to even chant 16 rounds. Imagine how 64, even 16 rounds. When I got initiation from Guru Maharaj sent me to Vrindavan, me and Madhapriya Prabhu together. Go and take care of my center in Vrindavan, Gopinath Gaudiya Math. So we came there, only 2 or 3 brahmacharis and so many services. I still remember the moment I kept my bag there in the room, the pujari said, he took his bag and he said, I'm going. Because I'm serving in this temple from so many years, I didn't got any break. I have my family, I have to go. And I was so sweating. I said, Baba, How can you leave everything on my head? Because Guru Maharaj told me, you become in charge of Gopinath Gaudiya Math Vrindavan. He made me in charge. And I don't even know how to do puja and so many things as I'm very new. Yeah, 1996. Then I called Guru Maharaj. Pujari immediately ran away. We called Guru Maharaj and said, we asked the servant to please communicate to Guru Maharaj what I can do in this situation. I don't know the mantras. I don't know how to do arati. I don't know how to do puja. So when this question was being asked to Guru Maharaj, you know what is his reply? He said, Maha Mantra is the king of all the mantras. So till that period, when you are learning, don't worry at all. Just chant Maha Mantra and you can do anything. All pujas, all worship is accomplished when one chant Maha Mantra. I said, then my next question was, Guru Maharaj, what is the mantra for offering bhoga? Because in Gaudiya Math means from morning till night, 5 times bhoga. From morning Mangalarti till night, 5 times bhoga. So at least I should know how to do offering. You know what Guru Maharaj said? Very jokingly, very light mood, laughing, smiling, Guru Maharaj said, just tell Thakur, Ami to habla, tumi khabla na khabla. Means, I'm foolish, I'm stupid, but if you're hungry, then you must eat. I'm foolish, I don't know anything. But if you are hungry, then you come and please eat. Just say this and Krishna will eat everything. But that was not an excuse. We should not think that, oh, we can do like this. Guru Maharaj said, this is because you're very new and you want to learn. But you must learn very soon as possible. Then I started learning from book and from hearing from other. So from morning till night, whole day, puja, arati, bhoga, setting up plates, washing pots. But also Guru Maharaj said, chant 64 rounds every day. So from morning 3 o'clock till night 11:30 or sometime 11. So busy. I remember in the night, I just have to finish my rounds and 11:30 I just go finish. I don't know where I am. Even if, anyone just take me anywhere, I don't know. That situation. So tired. But with Guru Maharaj, he took this word of Srila Prabhupada very seriously. And he became very happy to receive this order that sleep 3 hours tomorrow. He didn't feel like a thunderbolt, like I and we felt, like we feel this. He said, when Guru Maharaj is giving this order, that means he's also giving the potency, the energy to fulfill the order. We all are chanting, we all are serving. From where this spiritual energy coming? It comes from the bhajan of one's Gurudev. That energy helps us. So Guru Maharaj, he felt very delighted to receive this order from his Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Prabhupada, that sleep less but finish, complete 64 rounds, no matter how much service you have. Imagine. Guru Maharaj said, I was so happy on that day that how my Guru Maharaj is so much concerned about me. He's giving me order and also energy and potency to fulfill that order. And so, in this way, so many years, Guru Maharaj, till his last stage also, he used to write. But now, when he became like 95, 100 years old, his eyes got weak. So he used to have a very big lens, very powerful lens, and he used to read the scriptures with the lens like this, and then writing. But his pen never stopped. Yeah, he's never stopped. So what is that? One feels the presence of Guru in the services to Guru. Try to note down this sutra, this point. If someone is very serious with his Gurudev or her Gurudev, a person feels the presence of Gurudev in the services of Gurudev. He feel he feel the presence, or she feels the presence. Guru Maharaj felt the presence of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada in all his dedication, in all his services, day and night. Guru Maharaj was not all the time with Prabhupada. Prabhupada was preaching here and there. So how we can feel the presence of Gurudev? We get connected to Guru Maharaj and connected to Gurudev and connected to entire lineage, Guru Parampara, only with point service. This is the connecting point. Moment we drop that service mood, we get disconnected. And moment we get disconnected, no taste in chanting, no inspiration in Harikatha, all dry, all dry, all dry. Means connection is broken. Yeah? So we have to reconnect. Guru Maharaj, in this way, served in all this publication and in magazines. And there was yearly magazine, there was 6-month magazine, there was monthly magazine, there was 15 days, fortnightly magazines, and then there was daily newspaper. Imagine. And Guru Maharaj is working not only on all these magazines, but also books, the commentaries on Bhagavatam, commentaries Chaitanya Charitamrita, all the books also simultaneously with the magazines. Srila Prabhupada made him editor in publication. And when Prabhupada introduced this, many people start laughing on him. From where you will get so much material to introduce a daily newspaper, Dainya Nidya Prakash? The name of the newspaper was Dainik Nadya Prakash. How are you going to do this? From where you get so much material? Prabhupada smiled. He said, this material world is only 1/4 of the great opulence of the Lord. And spiritual world is 3/4 of the opulence of the Lord. Understand? So 1/4 this material world have thousands of newspaper to print news. And Srila Prabhupada boldly said, I have information and news of 3/4 opulence of the Lord, of the spiritual world. 3/4. So I have endless topics. Don't worry. Don't worry. Yeah. And in this way, so much preaching, preaching, preaching. Guru Maharaj, humbly, he used to glorify his god brothers. And he used to say, oh, my god brothers are so powerful. They are going country to country, means city to city, even going Videsh, Western country. So hard time. Nobody know where to eat, where to sleep, because preaching in those days is not like today. Today, we are very comfort zone in preaching, very comfortable. We have phone numbers, we have WhatsApp, we have houses to stay, and devotees, so much feeding, so much love and affection everywhere. I go to Holland, Maya house. Every day she's preparing 56 preparations for all the preacher who comes there. And similarly, other places also. So good facilities, nice room, warm shower, heaters, no troublesome at all. In comparison to what was preaching in the 1930s, the preachers have no place to stay. Where they're going to eat, they don't know. So hard. I am giving you one quotation from Srila Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Goswami Maharaj book. Near Kurukshetra, there is a place called Ambala, where I am constructing a temple. So one of the devotee, Haridev Prabhu, is also with me here. He's seeing me. So we are constructing a temple in Ambala. I was thinking, never any Gaudiya Math preacher came here. This was my thinking. But one day I read this book written by Srila Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Goswami Maharaj. And he's writing there that in year something like 1930s, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, he wanted his preaching to be done in Ambala. I was very happy to hear this in this city. He said, because this is very near to Kurukshetra, and all these Ambala people will come to know the glories of Braj and also for Kurukshetra. So Bhakti Siddhanta Prabhupada, he sent two of his very powerful preachers, Bhakti Daita Madhav Gosai Maharaj, who was Guru Maharaj of Srila Bharati Gosai Maharaj, and Bhakti Hriday Ban Goswami Maharaj. These two powerful, Bhakti Daita Madhav Gosai Maharaj and Bhakti Raksha Shida Gosai Maharaj. These two personalities came to Ambala for preaching, but no place to stay. In the month of December, January, such severe cold, no place to stay. You know where they are sleeping night? Under one bridge. Under one bridge. And it's so cold. And they were all both embracing each other. You know, like Guru Bhai, embracing each other because it's very cold and they have no room to stay, no house to stay. And whole night they are like this, remembering together, because in that cold they can't sleep. So the whole night they're discussing how Krishna and Sudama were serving their Guru Maharaj. How Krishna and Sudama in the forest bringing wood for his Gurudev Sandipani Muni. Both of them in the whole night they're spending their time like that. And where to eat? It's not that asking any from restaurant eating. No, they were high class Brahmins. They just can't eat from just randomly from anyone's hand. No. So preaching was very, very difficult. Very difficult. That's why my Guru Maharaj used to, like praying to his God brothers. How difficult is preaching, and you going every city in the country to preach. All glories to you, all glories to you. Guru Maharaj, being senior to all of them. See, he joined Srila Prabhupada 1923, and all other acharyas, Bhakti Raksha Siddha Gosai Maharaj, Bhakti Daita Madhav Gosai Maharaj, all these acharyas came after Guru Maharaj. So Guru Maharaj was so senior. But Guru Maharaj always keeping this mind, one who is serving my Guru Maharaj is my worshipable. He always keep this in his mind. Even if anyone is very junior to him, Guru Maharaj always used to praise him. Only seeing the dedication to his Guru Maharaj. Anyone who serves Srila Prabhupada, Guru Maharaj not keeping any mood that I'm senior or junior. He always bow his head down. Anyone who's serving Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada, you see the gravity of his absorption. You see the concept so high. We can't even touch this. We have no access to even touch this point. I would say the life biography of Guru Maharaj is like life of dedication. These words are even inappropriate, but I don't have good words to explain this. The complete life of dedication. Hmm. But when Guru Maharaj is glorifying his godfathers, the godfathers used to glorify Guru Maharaj. How? Because they're saying, oh, Prabhu, we have to go many different corners and directions to preach, but you're just sitting in one place, in one table, on one chair, and you're preaching entire world. Guru Maharaj said, I'm preaching? I'm not preaching. He said, yes, with your publication, with your articles in the newspaper, uh, you are you are present in each and every house. You're present each and every village. You present each and every town and every city. Just by sitting in one place, you're preaching everywhere. This is how they used to glorify and adore and appreciate each other. And in this way, in 1936, a very came, and that was uh, the sickness pastime of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. Sickness pastime. Srila Prabhupada was sick, manifesting sickness pastime in Calcutta, and two devotees were taking care of Srila Prabhupada. One was Paramanand Prabhu, and other is my Guru Maharaj. Morning and night, different shifts, they were serving Srila Prabhupada. Once upon a time, in his night shift, Guru Maharaj felt so restlessness, so much restlessness, that he thought, what if Prabhupada will leave this world? We will all become orphans. There will be no one to look after us. Who's going to give teachings? Who's going to chastise us? Who's going to, give Hari Katha to us? We will become orphans. He was just thinking like this and he became uncontrollable. He came to Srila Prabhupada's bed and catch hold his lotus feet and kept on his chest. Imagine this scene. How with so much emotion, Guru Maharaj, he placed the lotus feet of Prabhupada on his chest. And Srila Prabhupada opened his eyes. Gay. He said, who is this? And Guru Maharaj said, Ami, me, Pranavananda. Prabhupada said, oh, you. Guru Maharaj said, how are you doing, Prabhupada? Srila Prabhupada don't want to answer because he was feeling pangs of separation from his Ishtadev, Shri Gandharvika Giridhari, Shri Mahaprabhu, feeling so much separation from him. When Guru Maharaj asked, how are you doing? Srila Prabhupada replied, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Guru Maharaj understood he don't want to get bothered. Sunrise, Guru Maharaj shift ended. He came out from his room. Other days, he used to go in his room and get shower and get ready and rest. But this day he was not feeling good at all. He just sat outside the door of Prabhupada's room, and other devotee entered inside to take care of Prabhupada. Guru Maharaj just sat like this and very sad. What if Prabhupada will leave us? What will happen to us? And immediately from inside a shout came. Everything is destroyed. Everything is destroyed. Prabhupada has left us. Prabhupada has left us. And Guru Maharaj was just right there at the door sitting, and he ran inside. And he saw Prabhupada left his body. Guru Maharaj became so broken. So much tears came from his eyes. Right in front of me, my Guru Maharaj has left. And every brahmachari, every devotee just came running. So much crying in the whole center. And something surprisingly happened. All the clocks in the center, all the watches and clocks stopped at that time. 5:35 a.m. in the morning, 31st December, 1936. All the clocks stopped. And Guru Maharaj became so upset that just like his life has gone. So he felt so sad, and there were many other points that he felt, I will now stay in secluded, alone somewhere. So near to Navdeep Dham, there is a place called Ambika Kalna. Guru Maharaj came there, and Shri Bhakti Hriday Van Goswami Maharaj, Guru Maharaj God brother, he helped him arranging one stay in one very small, humble, small temple called Anant Vasudev, Kalna. Guru Maharaj used to go out for begging, like Madhukari, begging from different houses. And after begging, he used whatever he gets, he used to offer to the Thakurji, to the deities, and he used to eat prasadam only once a day, one time a day. No bed, nothing, just on the floor with one mosquito net, some little books with him, and some letters of Srila Prabhupada with him. Guru Maharaj used to keep this letter on his eyes, on his heart, and remembering his Guru Maharaj day and night. Yeah, chanting day and night, chanting day and night, and only going out once a day to get some food, begging from some house. So in this time, something happened. We found this memory, this history, which was hidden to anyone, to everyone. We found this in one of the diaries of Srila Guru Maharaj. He used to have one box, always locked. Guru Maharaj never used to allow anyone to open the box. Yeah. So when he left this world in year 1999, we found out the key of this box, and we opened the box, and we found so many letters of Guru Maharaj, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. And we found some diaries which Guru Maharaj used to write. Some diaries. And he used to write so small, so no one can read, because he always hiding his moods. Always. And he used to write in Bengali language. But 1 year he wrote in English language. 1 year. So devotees of our mutt in Jagannath Puri, they brought this diary to me and said, Prabhu, he told me, Krishna Kripa Prabhu, this diary is written in English. Can you see what Guru Maharaj has written here? and it was written like small ants, can't read. I told the devotees to get me one lens. They purchased a very powerful lens, and I used to read so minutely and used to write what he has written in earlier in the 1940s. Yeah, Guru Maharaj. So there, what I found is Guru Maharaj has written that Bhakti Siddhanta Swasi Thakur Prabhupada came in my dream and gave me sannyas. This we found in his diary. Guru Maharaj never told this to anyone, always hiding. But in his diary, in his daily writings, he wrote this point. Bhakti Siddhanta Prabhupada came in a dream and gave me sannyas. So he received mantra from his Guru Maharaj. And then other places he also writing one thing. Very interesting. Why interesting? Because usually we worship Radha Krishna Mahaprabhu, we worship our Guru Dev, but when the point comes to worship God brothers or God sisters, we take it very casually and we ignore this. Oh, we are same. But you see, in the life history of Guru Maharaj, he's shown to this world how much respect for even his God brothers. So what happened is, when he was in that temple alone, secluded, and going out once a day, begging something, and eating once a day. Once upon a time, when he was about to eat, one of his god brother came, visiting that temple. When he came, Guru Maharaj thought, this is very unpolite if I eat and if I not give to him. So he offered all that, but he begged that day, Madhukari, he offered that plate to him. And because if any god brother comes to house, or even if a guest comes to us, we think that Krishna has come to us. Atithi Deva Bhava. This is a system, this is a ritual, the tradition in India. Yeah, Atithi. So in this way, Guru Maharaj offered everything to them. And when he offered, they asked, you're not going to eat? And Guru Maharaj said, no, today, this morning, I had very heavy breakfast and my stomach is not good. So I will not eat. And he sacrificed his own prasadam and he offered to his godmother. And he just survived on his water and buttermilk. That's all. Next day, again, same thing happened. When he was about to eat, some other godmother came. And Guru Maharaj offered this to them. They asked, you're not going to eat? He said, no. Actually, there was a feast somewhere. They invited me and I ate there. I'm not hungry. And I was thinking someone should come and eat. And very good, you came. And next day, and the third day, and the fourth day, and the fifth day. 21 days, non-stop, 21 days, Guru Maharaj not eating anything. Only drinking buttermilk. Because every day someone or the other was coming. What will happen to us if this scene, in this circumstances, we will immediately eat our food and we will say to other person, oh, we don't have anything. Yeah, because we are conditioned souls. But you see how Guru Maharaj 21 days not eating anything, only drinking buttermilk. That's all. So much respect, not only to Mahaprabhu, not only to his God Guru Dev, but also to his brothers. So much respect, regard. He showed by his own example. Was this a show off? He was just showing off. To whom he is showing off? There was no one around him. He was just alone by himself. But this was his heart's emotions, his moods. You see, I'm just trying to remember and speaking the hiding, the hidden moods of Guru Maharaj. This kind of personality he was, he is. Uh, and in this way, then one of his godbrother, Srila Bhakti Dayit Madhav Gosai Maharaj, came to his temple and asked him to come and stay with him in his center's Shri Chaitanya Gaudiya Math. Guru Maharaj accepted this proposal and continuously staying with them. And 35 years almost, Gurudev stayed with his Guru Bhai, his godbrother, in their center, but again writing articles. Writing articles. So much. See? Hence, how much more I say. How much more I say. There are so many of glories of Guru Maharaj. So many glories. In very late years, because Guru Maharaj lived in this material world, I'm sorry I'm using this language, but because there are many people, many devotees from other countries and new ones, that's why just to make them understand, I'm using very simple languages. But these words does not apply to such high divine personality. In this material world, Guru Maharaj stayed for 102 years. 102 years. Yeah. Even in his advanced old age, 101 year, I used to see every hour sneaking in his room what he's doing. And I used to see every day, I mean, whole day and night, he's just chanting, 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 chanting. Whole day and night, 24 hours, he's chanting. Non-stop. I never saw Guru Maharaj sleeping. Never saw him. And he's so humble. So I'm not able to take each and every point because there is so much details. He was so humble that we, like his grandson, age of his grandson, and his disciples, when we used to go in his room and pay obeisances to him, or even sometime from far distance paying obeisances to him, Guru Maharaj used to go like this. He used to bow his head down to us, his disciples. And it was so shameful for us, so embarrassing to us, what Guru Maharaj is doing. Any sannyasi coming to see Guru Maharaj, paying obeisance to Guru Maharaj, because he's very old now, 101, he can't get up from his bed. But he used to go very, obeisances like this. And he used to say, I'm sorry, I cannot get up from my bed to pay obeisance to you. All these sannyasis were saying, no, 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 you are like our Gurudev. You are like our Guru Maharaj. Why you have to pay obeisances? Guru Maharaj said, no, because Shastra, scripture says, if by seeing a sannyasi, if you're not paying obeisances, then you get reactions. And how to counteract those reactions? You have to fast whole day. And Guru Maharaj said, Baba, I'm very old, I cannot fast whole day. So please accept my obeisances. So humble. And once upon a time, one Acharya, one Gurudev of other society has said that those who are Kanishta Adhikaris, those Kanishta Adhikari qualities, They are always into too much deity worship. Uh, This is symptom of Kanishtadhikari. It's from Rupa Goswami book Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Uh, that those who are only worshipping deities have no uh, respect for Vaishnavas, they are Kanishtadhikaris. And while he's saying this, he said, like Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj. He addressed Guru Maharaj as Kanishtadhikari. So all our devotees were also there. All my godbrothers were also there. When they heard this, they came to Guru Maharaj, very angry mood. They left that assembly because you're one not supposed to hear minimizing words or criticism of one's Gurudev. They immediately left the assembly and they came in a very angry mood and told Guru Maharaj, we will take revenge. We will tell them, how dare he can say to you, Guru Maharaj, you are Ma Bhagavat. You are pure devotee. You are direct manifestation of Lord right in front of us. The words which come from your lotus lips is like Shabd Brahma. Yeah. How can he say you are Kanishtadhikari? Very angry. Guru Maharaj very humbly, smilingly calmed down everyone. He say, why you are angry? You should be delighted. And I am very happy in my heart today that one Acharya, one Guru of any mutt has even considered me qualified to become a Kanishtadhikari. I was thinking I will leave this world without any qualification. Today I'm very relieved. Now I can leave this world without any uh, without any pain, because one Acharya of the temple told me I'm Kanishtadhikari. I'm so much thankful to that person that I will leave this world thinking at least I've come to the level of Kanishtadhikari. So no need to say anything, just be quiet. Guru Maharaj pacified everyone. Yeah, you see how humble words and humble mood of Srila Guru Maharaj. My Guru Maharaj, so humble, more humble than a blade of grass. Tatnadapi sunichena. More tolerant than a tree. Tatnadapi sunichena. Amanina manadena. Giving respect to everyone, even to his disciples. Yeah, even to his disciples. And even to his godbrothers, but not expecting any respect for himself. This was, this is the nature of the qualities of my Guru Maharaj. And Kirtanya Sadahari. And that's why throughout his life, from birth to 1999 when he left this world, always Kirtan, Kirtan, Kirtan. Kirtan means not only Kartal and Mridanga Kirtan, chanting is Kirtan, serving the mission of Guru Maharaj, publication, any other services is inclusive in the word Kirtan. Kirtane parishram jane gaura rai. Mahaprabhu knows everyone's endeavors in the Kirtan. How much you investing your energy in that Kirtan, Mahaprabhu knows this. You can't hide from Mahaprabhu. So Guru Maharaj was ideal example of Kirtane Sadahari. Ideal example of Guru Maharaj, ideal example of humble than a blade of grass. Guru Maharaj, ideal example of more tolerant than a tree. How we can survive without eating 21 days? Imagine Guru Maharaj, ideal example of Tirnad api suniche na. Uh, Taller than a tree. Ideal example of giving respect to everyone. Ideal example of not expecting any respect for himself. Hmm? And memory of Guru Maharaj. We have some God brothers and God sisters around the world, in America, in Russia, in South Africa. We have Damayanti Didi, Kalyani Didi. They used to come to Guru Maharaj. They are witness. They are more witness than me. That what I'm saying, this humble mood of Guru Maharaj. I give you one example. There is one of my god brother in America. His name is Ramdas Prabhu. Very rich person, big business person. Also love Guru Maharaj so much. Once he came to India and he called us, me and my god brother Madhapriya Prabhu, that let us go in the capital Delhi to buy the best pillows for Guru Maharaj. Please hear this. Very interesting. The best soft pillow for Guru Maharaj. Because Guru Maharaj's skin and body is very tender, very soft. He's 101. So from morning till evening, we went to so many stores, the best stores, the expensive stores. But we found no, this is not soft. This is not soft. We were find something like feather touch, very soft. Finally, we found uh, very soft pillows. Three of us were there, and he paid for everything. So with very happy mood, we brought this pillow to Jagannath Puri, to Guru Maharaj, thinking he will be very happy to receive this. And why he need pillows? Guru Maharaj never used to sleep. Like when we sleep, we lie down on the bed. I've never seen Guru Maharaj sleeping like this. He always sitting and very little nap, maybe 1 minute or 2 minutes, just by sitting. That's all. He never used to lie down and sleep. So he needs some rest. I mean, some support on his back, and used to take support of the wooden bed. And when he's chanting, his hands used to shiver like this. What is a good word? Tremble like this. Please excuse my English. Trembling like this. So support under his arm, under other arm, like this. So 4 or 5 pillows we bought. We came in the room of Guru Maharaj. We paid obeisance to Guru Maharaj and start keeping the pillows under his one arm, other arm, on his back, with his lotus feet. And Guru Maharaj is looking, what is this? What is this? And he, like in a mood of knowing, he looked in our eyes and he asked, what is this? We said, Guru Maharaj, our god brother, Ramdas Prabhu, he brought very nice, soft pillows for you to have your support under your arms, because we see always your hands always shake like this. So Guru Maharaj saw these pillows around him and he asked, looks like very expensive pillows. Yeah. Then meanwhile, other devotees also came in the room, all brahmacharis from Jagannath Puri. They said, we didn't want to say this, but they openly started saying, yes, Guru Maharaj, very expensive, very expensive. And you know what happened? Guru Maharaj started crying. He started crying. And he said, my Jagannath, because we have a temple in Jagannath Puri. So Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra is there. Guru Maharaj said, for my Jagannath, for my Krishna, no gift, nothing for him. And for the dog of Jagannath, you brought so expensive items, so expensive pillows for the dog of Jagannath, and nothing for my Jagannath. Don't you see, my Jagannath is in so much trouble. He don't even have a good room to stay. He don't have even a good fan. He's suffering there. And you worried about me? You waste so much of your money to buy these expensive things for me? Guru Maharaj became very upset and is crying. I'm the dog of Jagannath. I'm the dog of Prabhupada. You know, so much renunciation and so much concern for his deities, because oneness with his deities. Whatever deities are feeling, it is reflected on Guru Maharaj. I remember this. Uh, and another pastime in Jagannath, in Sridham Mayapur, Gopinath Gaudiya Math, Guru Maharaj was sitting in his room and was chanting there. All of a sudden, he told his servant, "My body is in pain. My body is in pain. Someone is just like beating me." So go and, he told his servant, "Go and check in the whole center, in the whole mutt, if everything is good." So the devotee, the servant, he went everywhere and asked everyone, "Is everything good here?" They said, "Yes, everything is good." Why? He said, "No, Guru Maharaj sent me to check." Then they came back. He said, "Guru Maharaj, everything is fine." "No, my body is pain, so much pain." The servant said, "I will bring doctor then." "No, no, no, no doctor. This is different pain. Have you been to deity room?" He said, "No, Guru Maharaj, because Pujari is doing puja and he locked." "No, you go and check there." So Guru Maharaj is in a room and he's sending his servant to go and check there. He knocked the door, Pujari opened the door, and Guru Maharaj and this servant, this sevak, he asked Pujari, "Is everything okay here?" The Pujari was nervous. "Why? What happened?" He said, "Guru Maharaj sent me here to check if everything is fine there." And the Pujari was nervous. He said, "Prabhu, how Guru Maharaj came to know in his room that something happened wrong here?" He said, "But what happened wrong?" Then Pujari said, "Today I understood Gurudev is like Krishna. Today I understood Gurudev is Antaryami. He knows everything what's going on around him." He said, "But what happened?" He said, "I thought my doors are locked. No one is looking at me. But what happened?" He said, "I was trying to lift Mahaprabhu for Abhishek, but Mahaprabhu fall from my hand on the ground. He fell on the ground. And that was my silly mistake and my offense. Yeah. But I thought no one is seeing me. But how come Guru Maharaj came to know just by sitting in the room?" Then the servant went to Guru Maharaj and told him. Guru Maharaj was so upset and angry. "Call this Pujari here." And Pujari came.
Yes.
Pujari came and Guru Maharaj chastised him very badly, very harshly chastised him. "How dare you can lift your deities like this? Huh? You think they are toys? You think they are only statues? They are Krishna, they are Mahaprabhu. You don't have these eyes to see them?" And he said, "Please, Guru Maharaj, I'm so sorry, forgive me." "No, I cannot forgive you." "No, no, then I will be in so much trouble, Guru Maharaj." The Guru Maharaj said, "Go and invite all the Vaishnavas in Mayapur Dham and serve them prasadam and also perform Abhishek of Mahaprabhu." and ask forgiveness from all the Vaishnavas. Then your offense will be destroyed. Guru Maharaj didn't say, okay, I forgive you. He said, no, all the Vaishnavas will forgive you. You see, so a humble mood. And he did like that exactly. He did Abhishek of Mahaprabhu, invited all the Vaishnavas, served them prasadam, asked forgiveness. And when this was happened, everyone took prasad. Guru Maharaj said, now no more pain in my body. You see, what Mahaprabhu is feeling when fall on the ground, the same pain is what Guru Maharaj is feeling. This shows what? Oneness of the deities with Guru Maharaj. So there are so many unlimited, endless glories of Guru Maharaj. I am very small, conditioned person with so much limitations, no good qualities at all. How I can describe with this lips, with this tongue, the glories of such a Mahabhagavat, the glories of such a pure devotee, for which even many great personalities have no capability to glorify Guru Maharaj. What to speak of person like me? Yeah. Whatever I have seen, whatever I heard, I just sharing with all of you. I have no realization of Guru Maharaj. And this was some of the glories, but there are many more. We will hear some other time. Today here in America is the most auspicious divine appearance day of Guru Maharaj. I pray in his lotus feet, even though I'm not qualified, still I pray to him that please forgive me from my offenses and engage me more and more in the service of Hari Guru Vaishnavas. All of you, those who are seeing me, hearing me, just please, my humble request to all of you, please pray for me so that I can dedicate my life, my energies in the service of Gurudev and Krishna. My humble request to all of you, all your devotees, all glories to you. All glories to Guru Maharaj, all glories to Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Shri Radha Krishna. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.